The Kauai Children's Authors Guild and the Hiccup Circus encourage all children across Hawaii to read every day.
Whooshing, snap! It was the mango tree. Our tree, said Grandpa, cracking, breaking, growling, slamming. Hurricane Iniki had come to Kauai.
Hi, my name is Carol Peacock, and I am a published author, and I am a member of the Kauai Children's Authors Guild. And today, my friend Laurel is going to help me read one of my books called Beach Fun. And it is the 7th book out of 6 of the books that I have written over the last 8 years, I want to say. And I thought I would only write one book, and it just keeps evolving into more and more books. The first book I wrote was, where did it go? Where is it? Right here, Benny the Beetle. And it was one that my mother had illustrated, and she had given me the book to edit, and I thought I would never write another book, never have to publish or work with any other book signings or anything ever again. But then someone said, oh, why don't you do an ebook? So here comes Terry the Terrible Terrier. And for my Christmas gift one year, guess what I got? A puppet of Terry the Terrible Terrier. We told this story so many times that some school teacher finally told me, why don't you just write a book about Terry the Terrible Terrier? And then someone else suggested, why don't you do a series of animal adoption books? So guess what? Then we spent 3 years creating the Kauai Kitty, and we don't have a stuffed animal of the Kauai Kitty, but it is probably my best edited book because I had so many people help me edit this book. I didn't even know how to really edit a book on the previous books. And then, you know what, I got to digging in my closet, and we realized we had illustrations of another book my mother had illustrated. So then we got that one. I started self-publishing at this point, and I was in the state of Oregon where their state animal is a beaver. So he came home with us from that trip, and he helps tell the story of Thwack Go Their Tails when I read to the students on Read Across Kauai Day. And one last adoption book, I don't have a Pecky stuffed animal, but she is also about adopting a animal that maybe isn't perfect, but might need to be rehabbed and taught how not to eat her own eggs. So in this learning process of how to write children's books, I finally wrote a short and sweet book about going to the beach, because I love going to the beach every other day. I don't write every day. I might write once a week or whenever I feel like it, when it's fun. And so this one just kind of poured out of me because I love going to the beach so much, and I love sharing things about the beach, things that you see there. And because of the generosity of certain donors, like the Rotary Club of Poipu Beach, we have been able to go to more and more schools for Read Across Kauai Day. I usually go in the spring, in February or March or April, and I read to as many students as I can, and this will be the book I will be handing out to all the students in the classrooms that I go to after I read the book to them, because we're trying to promote literacy, not just giving away books, but literacy, loving to read, because I love to read. That's what really got me started doing this. So let me read this book to you. Oh, one more thing I have to share with you. There are so many beaches on the island of Kauai that I had to include this map. I love putting maps in all my books, and it tells where all the beaches are all over the island of Kauai. So I have to refer to it every now and then because I can't remember all the names. of all the beaches. And then this is a picture of some of my friends at the beach. They've all encouraged me to write more books, even though I keep wanting to quit. I just keep creating. So here we go. Let's go to the beach right after breakfast. And I illustrated this book also with my photographs. So this is a picture from one of my favorite beaches, Kauai. Sometimes there is a rainbow at the beach. But you have to get up early in the morning or late in the evening to see these beautiful rainbows at the beach. At some beaches, sea glass is easy to find. Here's a picture from Glass Beach that I took after a storm, and there were lots of wonderful pieces of glass, sea glass, beach glass. Birds even live at these beaches. And there's lots of birds at the beach, especially if you take them something to snack on. Sailing a boat from the beach is fun. This was taken at Kauai Beach just before someone was about to take their boat out. This is a beach where Bob the turtle swims, and Bob the turtle loves to swim with our group of ladies that go swimming in front of the Wild High every other day. Read your own book just for fun. You don't know how many times I have gone to Kalapaki Bay Beach with my daughter on Sunday afternoons, and we read our books, our own books. You are very lucky when you see a whale, especially from the beach. I love seeing the whales breach. Finding seashells is so interesting. Now, this is a photograph of my daughter's hand holding interesting things that she's found at the beach, like shells. All my books are bedtime stories, so guess what? Turtles are asleep, it's dark, and time for bed. Good night. The end. And you know why turtles sleep on the beach? Because sometimes the sharks like to chase them around at night. So they go to the beach, and they stay away from the sharks, and they sleep on the beach where it's safe. And from popular demand, some of my friends have asked me to include some questions about the beach. So this book is actually a press proof. I'm still working on it. Still got some editing to do. It's called a press proof. And so I may add this list of questions for parents or students or siblings or grandparents, anybody that wants to talk about things that they have done at the beach or places they've gone that were beaches or things they've seen at the beach or animals that live on the beach or around the beach. So anyway, that's kind of my story of why I created this book and self-published it. All of my books are on Amazon.com or over at the Storybook Theater. They have some of the copies of our books. And I have a website and I have a Facebook page. So you can follow me all those different ways. And I guess that's about all I can think of to share with you. We want to thank our sponsors for Read Across Kauai Day this year. And they are the Poipu Rotary and the Elsie Wilcox Foundation and the G.N. Wilcox Foundation. Thank you very much.
Brick by brick, we are building a pathway. Brick by brick, a pathway to peace. Brick by brick, will you help us, please, as we complete the Spark M. Matsunaga International Children's Garden for Peace. Brick by brick.
For those interested, call Storybook Theater at 335-0712 or email director@storybook.org.
Hey, Calvin.
Yeah.
Guess what we get to do?
Okay, I'm going to guess.
Go.
We're going to dig bones.
Yeah, we could dig bones, but
Okay, good.
I can only scratch. I can dig.
Okay.
So why don't we introduce our right-hand people first?
Okay. What are you talking about?
Well, we have helping hands, right? Unseen hands.
Yeah.
And so we need to introduce who's on the other hand of the hand.
Oh, I get you. Okay. Well, go ahead then.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
I would like to introduce my right-hand person, and boy is he handy. His name is Uncle Mark Jeffers.
Mark Jeffers! Yay! And I now would like to introduce my, I'm his left-hand man. And
Yeah.
I would like to introduce Mr. Will Wells.
Boy, that guy's great. Read Across Kauai Day, Storybook Theater has done a program called Read Across Kauai, where the Children's Authors Guild, Kauai Children's Authors Guild, get together and they travel out into the schools with their books, the books that they've created.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Reading is so important, and involving your child and your reading to the child is just proven to be a very effective and important thing in their lives.
Yeah, what we do too is we give parents this nice list of the reasons why reading is important. So their child gets read to by a real author and gets to ask questions to a real author. How did you make that book? Why did you make that book?
Well, I like this first one here.
Which one is that?
Reading aloud is a great way to bond and spend quality time with your child.
Yeah, and that's so rare because we're all so busy these days. And what about reading aloud helps children develop imagination and creativity? That's something we could all use more of.
Yeah, reading to your child prepares them for school by increasing their vocabulary, and that vocabulary can help them communicate more effectively with their peers, teachers, and parents.
Yeah, vocabulary, like the number of words that you have command of, right?
Exactly.
How do you make a
Wonderful.
word come out of your mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, of course, being in early childhood education, we knew early out that language development takes place in the early years of the developing brain. Actually, 90% of brain development takes place before your child's 5th birthday.
Wow.
So that's 90% of the growth of the child's brain. So language is so important.
Wow. Well, there's a quote here from the Melbourne Institute of Applied Economic and Social Research. It says, reading aloud prepares children for academic success.
Yes.
Studies show that children who are read to daily are as much as a year ahead of those who are read to less frequently.
Yeah,
So it's important.
Yeah, and it's obvious that reading with your child, to your child, and then having maybe your child read to you. Those are great activities.
I think I'm going to learn how to read now. I see that it's important.
I think I better go have a word with this rooster. This is what I think.
I think we should read to Calvin and Russell, don't you?
Okay, next show, ladies and gentlemen, we promise to read to our puppets, okay?
Absolutely.
Read Across Kauai.
We're all connected to the ocean. It may be the waves you drop in on or the memories of family vacations on the beach, or it may be the sense of contentment when you dig your feet into the warm sand. It's about clean water for me. And if you're like me, you want to ensure that our ocean is protected and safe to surf, swim, and play in and day out. That's why I support Surfrider, and why you should too. We sometimes assume that our oceans are pristine, healthy, and accessible. Sadly, that is far from the truth. Our beaches face real threats, from plastic pollution to urban runoff to poorly planned development. What I love about Surfrider is that they are tried and true coastal defenders, addressing those threats head on. They are so passionate about our coasts that they will fight for years and even decades for what they love. Join Surfrider today to protect our ocean, waves, and beaches so that we can all enjoy today, tomorrow, and every day after.
Brick by brick, we are building a pathway. Brick by brick, a pathway to peace. Brick by brick, Will you help us, please, as we complete the Spark M. Matsunaga International Children's Garden for Peace, brick by brick.
For those interested, call Storybook Theater at 335-0712 or email director@storybook.org.
Aloha, I'm Jade. I am the publisher of Reading Wave. I've had the pleasure to meet Angela Kuzma, who created a wonderful, fun, engaging reading program for not only teachers and tutors and educators, but just for everyday parents who don't have a teaching background, but do find it important to start to teach their children how to learn to read. So today we're going to talk about Reading Wave. We brought a few pieces with us, but first I'd like to have Angela introduce the inspiration and why she created Reading Wave.
Well, I'm Angela Kuzma, and I've been a teacher for 23 years now. I've taught mostly younger children, and when you're teaching younger children, you're teaching them how to read. I've used lots of different programs, reading programs. Many of them worked, but along the way, I found that the children really didn't enjoy them. They didn't have a joy for reading. And I love reading, so I wanted them to have a joy, for that. So I started just observing them and asking them questions while we were learning to read, and I found that what they really needed and what they wanted to do was move and play, and that's how children learn, through movement and play. So I started to try different things with them, different games, and just getting them to move using ordinary things in my house that I had and in my classroom. And we played games and moved around, and they were learning so much faster than they were before and having a great time and just really loving to learn to read. So I thought, well, it would be important to create a curriculum where not only teachers could use, but children could use, with like their siblings or younger siblings, and parents could use, and aunties and grandmas and grandpas, and just everyone could get together and play and move and learn to read. So I came up with a curriculum called Reading Wave. And I met Jade, and she helped me develop it, and we almost have it completely finished, and it'll be ready to go. But as of now, we're just using it in my classroom that I teach in, and just with other programs that we get to experience. So some of the things that we do in Reading Wave is we use ordinary things. So like we use, in order to teach the children the letter O, we get a hula hoop, which looks like a letter O, and we teach them about a story about an opera singer who sings the letter O sound, ah, and we have them do fun things like jump through the hoop and say, ah, and they do different things with the hoop. And the movement is what helps them remember it. And as earlier when Monica was speaking, she was talking about how the brain has, it's very a complicated thing, but what we have found through research is that it's all connected, and when you stimulate certain areas, like whenever you do anything movement-based or kinesthetic, both hemispheres of the brain are stimulated, and that's how the memories are created. And so so movement is so important in learning. And you can take any ordinary things. If you have just a regular ball, and you take a word card, you put it on the ground, and you have the kids play bounce the ball back, and then when they try to hit the word is, and they bounce the ball and hit the word, and as they're doing that, it's creating a memory for them. You can take have the kids eat popsicles, and then take the popsicle sticks and write words on them and lay them down in rows and have the children jump over them as they say the words, and it creates a memory for them for those words. You can take regular games, like this is a Moana memory match game, and write words on them and have them play the games that way. There's just so many ways to play with your children to get them to learn. We have a reading rug that we use, and we play games on that, and we have them use the words like on and off, and we'll hold up the word and get off the rug and get on the rug, and the rug means different things. It has different colors for different words, and the children just move. They're constantly moving and playing, and that's what brings them joy, and it connects, and they learn the words so much faster. So anyway, Jade, want to tell more about
Yeah,
the product.
Wanted to also say that Reading Wave is a multi-level program, so anybody with children from ages 3 to 8 can use it. You can use it all together at the same time. The two big pieces that make Reading Wave different and what makes it work are the move and play reading games, as Angela just went through. We have about 8 to 10 move and play reading games per set. And then we also have a few stories in each set, but this one in particular is our multi-level storybook that is also color-coded. So you can see here where each level, what they would be focusing on, and have each of the kids point out the different colors and learn the letter sound, word families, letter partners, as well as sight words as they're reading. So you can really use the one program for all of the siblings from ages 3 to 8 at the same time, which makes it more fun too, because it's more engaging.
Mm-hmm. So there's 26 levels that they go through, and in each level they learn a letter partner, a word family, and 5 to 6 sight words. And in that way you can use it, families can use it. You can be working with your preschooler and your second grader at the same time doing the same program, so that families can use it together. And as we know, even in the classroom, there's children are at different levels, even if they're in the same grade. So that way they can all be learning together and no one feels like they're left out or anything like that. So we're really excited about it, and we're so glad you allowed us to share it here with you.
You can learn more about the program as well as pre-order set 1 of Reading Wave on our website. You can go to readingwave.com, and there you can learn just more about if it's something that is right for you and your family, if your children are ready to read, learn to read, and also contact us through our website. We're really happy to be on Russell the Rooster Show, and you can watch this segment on Russell the Rooster YouTube.
Say, ooh, yummy.
The Kauai Children's Authors Guild encourage all children across Hawaii to read every day. You will find a wide variety of local children's books at the Storybook Theater gift shop and online at www.storybook.org.